excited for people to hear your story. So basically, I want you just to share with me kind of where you were at and how this all started.
Okay. Back in June of 2023, I went and had my annual physical, and my cholesterol was extremely high. And it has been for probably about 2 to 3 years. And so I've been trying different things. I've been on the keto diet, and I'm like, well, everybody is saying that this will work. And so I was doing that. That's what I was trying to do to get my cholesterol back down. And the more I did it, the worse it got, I think. So then January of 2024, I'm like, okay, I have until June to get my cholesterol down. That was my goal. I really wanted it for sure. I had to figure something out. And my doctor just kept saying, well, you're gonna have to go on a statin, you're gonna have to go on a statin. And I'm like, nope, not gonna. I've heard horror stories. I don't want to do that. So I just got on good old Google and I Googled how to lower your cholesterol. And Zanya and Krista popped up. You guys both, I don't know. I don't remember. I wish I knew. I can't even remember. I think it was probably your website that I came across first. I don't even know. But so I just started watching a couple videos or just started reading some of your web page, and I'm like, hey, this sounds like maybe something that I should try instead of what I'm doing that's not working.
Right, right.
So I emailed you and Zanya, and what was it, like the next day, the next morning, I think you called me on the telephone, and I about fell out of my chair. I was,
Well, Aimee, I felt your pain. It was late January, you're right, and you
yep,
emailed, and I could feel your frustration and your pain in your email
mhm,
because you
yep,
were so frustrated.
I
You didn't know
was,
what to do. I mean, you
yeah,
knew, I think you knew in your heart there was a possibility that something else could be done, but
yeah.
I was to say, I felt your pain in your email.
Yeah. Well, and my doctor kept saying, well, the thing that he kept telling me was that it's hereditary. It's hereditary. It's hereditary, which I'm sure some of it probably is. And I know that my mom has high cholesterol. And so it's like, okay, I don't really think that's really it. I just, because it seemed like my cholesterol was okay before I started doing keto. And then and then it just started gradually going up. And I'm thinking, every year I'm like, I'm going to go to the doctor, and because I would tweak something. And I thought, okay, maybe this will help. And I go back and it'd be just as bad, if not worse. So I'm like, I don't think that it's hereditary. It's got to be something that's within my diet that I'm doing. And I just didn't know what it was. So,
Well, so, and then we
what?
had a conversation about, I told you to eat real food. I said, I want you to, read ingredient labels, eat real food. But you
Mhm.
were so hesitant because you
I
said,
was.
no, Krista, I cannot eat, I can't have fruit because of the sugar, and I can't eat sweet potatoes
Yeah,
because of the carbs. And I said,
exactly.
me, we're making it too complicated. I want you to keep this simple, and we're going to eat real food. And so then
Right.
tell me what kind of where it went from there.
Well, then I just I just started doing it. I think when we had talked, you the very first time you said I have a class, or Zanya has a class that's starting, what was it, 2 days from
Mm.
that day? I think it was. It wasn't much. I had like no time to hardly think about it. I think I thought about it for like one day, and then I had to sign up for it. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I really do I want to pay for this? Do I not want to pay for this? And it's like, and you were like, well, we got a discount code. I'll send it to you. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. So I talked to my husband, and I'm like, okay, I really want to do this. And if this doesn't work, then I'll just have to go on a statin. I don't know what else to do. And he's like, okay. So he said, go for it. So I did.
So then, as you started to go along, before you got to your 1 year mark to get your blood work redone, like what
Mhm.
started happening as you were going from, from January until we hit June? So what started happening that you started noticing changes?
Oh, I think a couple of things. I don't even think I mentioned it to you. I have noticed like my hair loss hasn't been as bad as what it was. And that was one of the things that people kept saying, well, because you're on keto, you're eating a lot of protein and that kind of thing, your hair loss is going to improve. It never did. It got worse, I think. And I have been noticing that. I noticed that today when I got out of the shower after walking this morning. I'm like, I was rubbing my hair with a towel. I'm like, okay, I don't have hair all over me.
Wow.
So that was kind of a cool thing. And I don't have very thick hair anyway, but
Yeah.
so
I mean,
I mean,
you like to keep what you got. Yeah,
yeah,
right.
exactly. So that was one of the things. I feel like I'm more energetic. Especially like now that we're into summer, I'm outside all the time. I actually started a walking group for our church at our church.
So,
So
okay, so then
yeah.
the really exciting part. So a couple weeks ago, I get an email from you, and the subject line says, I have no words because you went back to the doctor or you went back and got blood work done. So now
Hmm.
this is a year later, and it's about
Yep.
6 months into
Yep.
your real food journey. And then tell
Yep.
me, tell me what
Yep.
happened.
Well, my cholesterol started out in June of 2023. My total cholesterol was 409 or 16 or something like that. And when I got it back this time, it was 190. My
Aimee,
total
that is
cholesterol was
over
190.
200 points
I
in
know.
6 months.
Yeah. I
So
couldn't believe it. I'm like, there is no, I thought, okay, it'll be down to maybe like 300. I didn't think it was going to jump like that at
right.
all.
Well, and you
So,
even sent me your numbers, and you said your
uh-huh.
LDL, which is your
Yep.
lousy cholesterol,
Right.
it went from 281 to 114. So
Yep.
it went down, it dropped 167 points in six.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, and the other comment that you said in the email was you said, is this really possible just by eating real food? I mean, you
Yeah,
were shocked.
exactly.
You were kind of
Hmm.
flabbergasted, weren't you?
I couldn't believe that. I mean, how can that even be possible? I still don't. I, I just,
I,
I have told so many people,
Well,
yeah.
so I know that there is somebody else out there with sky high cholesterol, just like you were. And
Mhm,
they're honestly thinking there's no way I'm gonna
mhm,
be able to improve this.
mhm.
So what advice would you give other people that are where you were in January?
I would say give it 6 months, try it. What can you lose? I mean, yeah, I started on the last half was 6 months, so I didn't have to go the full year of trying it. Um, but I mean, do it for 6 months, and you might have to pay for your own blood work, but go have blood work done in 6 months, and just see what happens. But I bet you would be surprised that it it worked. Yeah. And that's where I was getting discouraged with before is that, it was like everybody's like, "Oh, just try it for this long." I would try it and it did nothing. It just made things worse. So
Right.
this actually worked. So
I am
maybe, yeah.
so proud of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I about wanted to combust when I got your
Yeah.
email because it's just amazing. And thank you for doing this because
You're welcome.
I know there's somebody out there that can benefit by hearing your story.
Yeah, I hope there is. And like you said, I'm sure there are other people out there that are, that maybe I've always been just a quiet person to watch, YouTube videos. I don't comment on that kind of stuff too much or Facebook pages or anything like that too much, but I can't keep quiet about this one. This is just it just blows my mind. And I can't thank you and Zanya enough. You guys have been uh amazing. You guys, okay, another thing I would recommend to somebody is email you guys because I'm like, I just sent out an email and I thought, nobody's gonna ever respond to me, or they're gonna send back like a mechanical or a thank you for emailing us or whatever. But no, you actually called me and you emailed me, and that tickled me. That part of it made me cry when you called me the first time. I was just like, cool. So I thought that was awesome.
Thank